Jamie Shapiro with Premama. We're talking about a Rhode Island success story of a startup, and I believe Jamie's around the corner, and I'll welcome him in. Thanks for coming in today.
Good to see you.
I
Thanks for having
appreciate it. So the reason why we're having you in is the big news. This is a big success story, a $4.5 million raise.
Correct. And actually, the release that we sent out is $4.5 million in the last 18 months.
Yes.
So we just did a Series A and a Series B. So Series B was $3.25 million, and then our Series A we raised 1.4. So we've raised $4.5 million in the last 18 months.
Fantastic. So great success story. You know, when we hear about these things about a startup that started here in Providence and where you are, let's talk a little bit about Premama because it's been around since 2011 and part of the Rhode Island Business Plan competition.
Sure. So I didn't found the company myself, but Dan Aziz, he is the founder, and he founded the company in 2011. And when he founded that company, he was a student at Brown University. So the Premama concept started in a class, actually Danny Warshay's class. It's an entrepreneurial class at Brown. And Dan went ahead and submitted the application for the Rhode Island Business Competition. He won that. So when he won that, he was funded by the state and got some money. And then he took it even farther. So the way that the company was created, Dan saw a need. He's an athlete. He's a big supplement guy. And what he did one day is he went to a Whole Foods. It's actually the Whole Foods up on North Main Street here in Providence. And he spoke to some women in the whole body section. And he said, "Listen, what are you missing here in the section?" And women just said, "We just can't stand taking these prenatal pills. They're just too big, these horse pills."
Okay.
So he then interviewed 300 other women, and he basically canvassed these women, and 96% of the women said they couldn't stand taking these horse pills, these prenatal pills. So that's the premise of Premama. So then he took all that data. He built a team of doctors, one from Yale, OBGYN. He built a team together and basically came up with two products, which are the two prenatals. And so the products are a powdered drink mix. It's a pill-free form, allowing women to have an alternative to the pill.
And started with two products, but and we have some under the table here. How many are we up to now?
So we're up to 8 now.
Wow.
So the company in 2011 started with two products, two prenatals. And then I came on board roughly 2.5 years ago, and we created two new products, which what we do is we call them the bookends. So we came up with a fertility product and a lactation. So now we cater to women throughout the whole maternity journey. So we have products that cater women when they're thinking of trying to have children to all the way once they've had their child and they're breastfeeding. So then that was 5 products. And then as of this month, we're launching 3 new products. So that brings it up to 8. So going from 2 products to 8 in roughly
So you have them all under here. You carted them in, so
Sure.
feel free to break them out. And let's talk a little bit about where they're available, because that's another big piece of the growth of Premama.
Sure.
As we go through talking about all of these products, and these are all, again, what you mix with.
So Premama is all about pill-free. So when the company started, it was really about coming up with a powdered drink mix form. This is what it looks like. So it's really easy to use. Women just, put it in water, mix it in with a smoothie.
Portable, bring it to work, school, wherever you are.
Yeah, put it in your purse, and it's really easy to use. And as we started developing the company and growing, we then thought, let's come out with a gummy, let's come out with other products like soft chews. So the 3 new products that we have a gummy, so it's the first gummy that has iron and DHA in it. And then we have a sleep aid chew and a digestive chew.
Chews are very popular.
Yeah, easy to use.
Easy to use, easy to get down. So let's talk about how many stores, we discussed this a little bit in the green room, had you been in, and where's the expansion been?
Yeah, so just about 2 years ago, we were in roughly 1,000 stores. And then one of the biggest chains that we landed initially that added some credibility to our company was CVS. So literally in our backyard, the neighbors, we got in with CVS, roughly 2,500 stores. And when that happened, it builds credibility to other retailers, and other retailers like Walgreens and others start seeing what you're doing. And so we grew from 1,000 stores to date. We're in 9,200 stores.
9,200 stores. So if someone were to walk into a CVS here in Rhode Island, they'd find the Premama vitamins.
They'd find the Premama. And it's GNC, Walgreens, Meijer, the list goes on. So nationally.
So you're up to 8 products.
8 products total.
Is the sky the limit? What are the, there's so many more questions I have to ask, but I want to stay product-based because
Sure.
we have them all out here.
Sure.
Any thoughts, or are you kind of sticking with this for the time being and trying to make these as successful as possible?
This is our core focus, so, we want to really own the maternity wellness space and really cater to women there. We're really the only ones that we know of that cater women throughout each stage of the journey. But we're an innovative company, and it's all about product development. So, short term is focusing on the 3 new products we have. Long term, and it's not too long, we want to cater to women and children. So, we spend a lot of money,
to the children range. Okay.
marketing to these women and becoming customers of Premama. And once they have their children and stop having kids, we want to come out with similar delivery formats for kids and also women's multis.
Very, very good. And now it was interesting. We had discussed the Rhode Island Business Plan competition in here in studio not too long ago. And one of the core tenets of it was, solving the problem. And obviously the
Right.
problem identified was, what's the need, going to the Whole Foods and asking all those women for what they wanted. So just it fits that niche in terms of, I hadn't realized, instead of big horse pills, something that can be taken in powder or gummy form, and developed right here in Rhode Island. And let's talk a little bit about employees. You were just
Sure.
discussing a little growth.
The growth, yeah.
Yes.
So, when the company started, it was a one-man shop. Dan was the only employee at that time, and then I was the second hire, and we're up to almost 6 a hire. So we're hiring our 6th employee. So we have grown from literally 1 to 6 over the last 2.5 years. We've tripled our office space as well. We're based here right in Providence, downtown.
And you're based in Providence, and you said you have warehouse is it Warwick?
Yeah, we're based here. We're actually just up the street at the Hatch Entrepreneurial Center. So we have some private offices there, and then we have our warehouse in West Warwick. We have a logistics team that is in East Greenwich. Then we have an accounting firm that is also in Warwick. So trying to keep pretty much as much as we can here in Rhode Island.
Keep as much as you can in Rhode Island, and that's one of the things we talked about. We've heard of success stories starting here in Rhode Island, but then looking elsewhere after they've grown here. And you said you think that you're probably looking to stay for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and I would switch that from probably to definitely.
Definitely staying.
We're locked in. It's been 5 years that the company started, and our roots are here, and we have no reason to leave. We definitely can do it here, and I think that there are a lot of companies that have left and just haven't been maybe as patient and moved to New York and other places. And we've recently got the money from local investors too, which is really great because we have a really good local support system. We got investors from Boston and New York and other places such as North Carolina. But we have a good support network here, and we can do everything we can do here that we can do in any other state. So there are no reasons for us to leave.
So talk to us a little bit about that and about the startup culture here. A lot of times folks just say there's just not the venture funding, but here you are for that raise over the 18 months. What would you say to someone in the startup industry, and maybe what would you suggest? It seems like it might be a little daunting, but explain your success story.
Sure. It takes time. We've been fundraising for years, and when you go through one raise, then next thing you know, you're doing your next raise. And so as a small company, really how it works is you start out, Dan $250,000. Then as the company grows, you have to get what's called seed capital or Series A funding. So it's capital to do everything from product development and get the company up started. And so we were lucky where we found Cherrystone, which is an angel group here in Rhode Island, a really great firm. And so they led that Series A. And then part of that, then there are other people that start putting in money. But we went outside of Rhode Island as well, but the lead investor was based here. And then when we did our Series B, which we just closed on, we went to a New York firm. They actually came to us. So River Hollow Partners led that round. And what's nice is Cherrystone came in, and they kept putting in more money in because they had confidence in us, and they like what we're doing. So then when Cherrystone put more money in, then Mike Sweeney, who's a local resident here from Duffy and Sweeney, he came in with some other people, and they put in money. And then we found a group called Hub Angels out of Boston. They were successful with the Zipcar and DraftKings.
Okay.
So then they came in and put some. So, ultimately, you have to be patient in who you're looking for. But I have to say that there's some great groups that are here locally and even up as far as Boston that are really looking for small entrepreneurial companies to invest in and grow.
Now, would you consider this a success story from a Brown student to where things are today?
Well, what's the statistic? I think 90% of startups don't make it.
Yeah.
So, and that's within 5 years. So one, we've hit that 5-year mark, and two, we're still here. So I think that we've hit that mark. We are growing every year, which is exciting. So I think we have some goals ahead. So I wouldn't say we're successful yet, but we've succeeded in what we wanted to do over the last, definitely the 3 to 5 years, and we're excited to grow even further.
Well, fantastic. I know you were talking about where the growth potential might be with the products themselves. In 9,200 stores, is actually the growth in stores just as important, clearly, for sales?
It is. I mean, it's a good question because we've ramped up our distribution big time. When you get into these chains, we're in 2,500 of the 8,000 CVS. So we're not in all the CVS stores, but we're in every GNC, we're in every Vitamin Shop, we're in every Meijer. So sometimes you go into select stores, and sometimes you go chain wide. But once you ramp your distribution up as high as we are, we're almost at 10,000 stores. We have to have it turn on the shelf. So now it's up to marketing, and that's my role as the CMO. It's about consumer marketing. We need to educate, we need to work with fertility clinics, we need to work with doctors' offices, and let as many women know about our product. They can find it out there, but now we need to really educate and build that brand awareness, because it's not so much about the stores, it's about how often are women buying these products. And we've gotten proven success so far. We're just trying to crank that up more.
Online sales?
Online sales. So we internally don't do a huge amount of online sales. You can buy a drink Premama, but our big focus has been Amazon. So our Amazon sales has grown. I think it's something like 4,000%.
Wow.
I mean, it's the amount of product we sell each month on Amazon has been just astonishing. So definitely Amazon has been a big player. We're sold in all the major online sites that you know of, and we're looking to do an ambassador program to build our online sales. But online is a big focus for us. It's just, the product is really light, it's easy to ship, so that's definitely a focus of ours